Hello! Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week's read, I'm going to use the tarot of the Astromatrix Tarot. There's a website in the back here if you're interested to find it. I want to say this was like a community effort, not a community, but like a group effort. I don't think there's like a one person who did it. Supportive Oracle cards. Your Clairvoyant Oracle cards by Belinda Grace, illustrated by Elaine Marzin. Website in the back here, rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as in apple, U as an umbrella. And I use dice. I use a 22-sided dice for the major arcana. I substitute 22 for 0 and make that the Fool. And then I use a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana and a 4-sided dice to decide which suit of the minor arcana. That's from Math Art Fun, I believe it is. MathArtFun.com is where I got those dice. Alright, with that being said, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. This is James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day. Hello, Taurus. Thank you very much for tuning in to this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. What do we have for Taurus? A lot of complimenting energy here. In a situation that's not. Okay, what do I mean? A lot of complimenting energy for a situation that's not very complimentary to you. Alright, this card. That card. That's another complimentary card. So, what is going on is a great question. I actually think this is going to go well. Now, this may seem odd, but I'm going to address this in the very beginning here. The Devil card is an Earth card. Sometimes talks about Capricorn energy. You don't have to be dealing with a Capricorn, but it's like that Capricorn energy. You work well with other Earth signs. Sometimes Taurus has issues with the Taurans, depending if you're going the same direction, you could go well. If you go different directions, that could be not so well. But with this energy, there's rules, there's boundaries. There's not a lot of patience for people who break those boundaries. Taurus can roll with that. Taurus can definitely roll with that. Kind of like, you know what, I prefer things stay where they're supposed to. I prefer people do things the right way, the same way every time. Yes, this can work. This is the energy that's there right now. Rules, boundaries, trying to keep things where they're supposed to be, trying to keep things contained. There's other support around this situation too. This is what's interesting. These two also talk about signs. This can talk about Cancer. That's compatible with Taurus. This talks about Scorpio. Scorpio, not so much. But this gets kind of complicated because the Devil and the Chariot, they don't match. You and Scorpio, you don't match. But all these energies are working together, working through each other. The situation isn't the easiest, but through other people, it can work out. It does feel like it's quite complicated to me. I feel like this is one of those things where you are kind of taking it slowly but surely. You're trying to work with those that work well with you, and you're trying to stay away from those that don't. It's just ironic. Some of the people that you work well with don't work well with each other. There's others that you don't work well with at all, but those people that don't work well with each other work well with it. It does feel kind of sticky. I think I would say it feels sticky. Yeah, everybody seems to be working in the same direction. Everybody wants this to work out. So there's a lot of good intention as long as people are willing to try to work things out. Sometimes, I swear, I know people don't like it sometimes, but sometimes it's better just to accept that people are different and they just don't work well together. And the people who don't work well together, we keep them apart. The people who do, it's very round robin to me. It's kind of like, it's almost like you and the person across from you maybe don't get along. The person to your left and the person to your right, they don't get along with each other, but they get along with you. The person to your left and the person to your right get along with the opposite energy that you don't get along with. And it's just, this whole like telephone, like working through people who get along instead of directly, it just reminds me of a table like that. Like if I work from to the person to the left, the person to the right, and everybody keeps doing that and doesn't work directly with the people they don't get along with, it does seem to work well. It's a diplomatic way to work through things. Hopefully that would work. I get that there's a lot of like people trying to jump the line. So it's almost like the person directly across from you that maybe you don't get along with is trying to be cooperative and work with you directly, thinking they can be cooperative, and that's its own challenge, because even though they're trying to be cooperative, the way they do things just doesn't work for you. So it's kind of like, okay, let's try to make this work. The situation is good. That's the kicker. The situation is good, and everybody's trying to get along is what I'm trying to see. I think that's what's going on. There's some random energy. Taurus is not usually a fan of random energy. More energy coming in with the randomness. There's another energy. How complicated does this get? I mean, come on. There's another one that totally wants to do it your way. This can talk about Pisces. You don't have to be dealing with all these different signs, but this is like talks about these different people. This one gets along pretty much with everybody, but wants to please everybody. You can't. You're not. That's a fail. It's not going to happen. That energy's here. This energy. I'm a Pisces, and this talks about Pisces sometimes, and it's like one of our downfalls when we try to please too many people. We should not be doing that anyway, but it just makes things worse. So I just feel like there's this energy that's trying to be helpful that's really, it's not working. And as a Pisces, I feel like, oh my God, I can see myself being that one. And like, I don't know. So all this going on, I think the reason we're describing it, it's going to come to like it's going to jam. It's going to be a traffic jam. It's going to get stuck. It's going to get stuck. And I do see you trying, you have honest effort, kind of like trying to work it out, trying to make it work, trying to make it make sense. It's not working. It's not working. So your initial reaction is like, okay, this isn't working right, so let me step in and fix it. Let me take control of it. All right, you guys, I'll just wait. Everybody just sit down, give me your stuff. I'll decide what we're going to do, and then we're going to move forward. I get that it's not going to, no. I just see people are not going to accept that. There's going to be certain people who won't accept that, and there's going to be pushback on that. Okay, so there's advice. There's advice. There's advice. Okay. I'm laughing because I'm not sure you're going to like the advice. I'm going to roll the dice on it before I do it, just to make sure we're on the right track here. We want to avoid the tower, even though I think we're going to have some of it anyway. The tower's where things fall in and we have to rebuild. We also have the Seven of Wands, which means people aren't... There's certain things you're not going to know. Seven of Wands is keeping things on the outside. I feel like you're going to know that certain people aren't telling you everything, and they're just going to run you in circles. The advice here is to let somebody else lead. Let somebody else lead and just kind of support it. I don't feel like that's your idea of a good time. But it's better than just having the roadblock and being stuck. Let somebody else... That's the advice. I know you got to do what you got to do, but I don't know. If you want this to get unstuck, let somebody else lead, support it. And then I feel like watch and read between the lines. Some of you may have these moments where you're like, I know something isn't quite right, but I can't put my finger on it. If you have some people around you that, you know, they're good at figuring out the puzzles, keep them close, keep them in tandem with you. They will probably figure things out and they'll let you know. And with your efforts together, you'll figure it out. Some of you might just get it. You might just figure it out. But I would keep somebody close that would be a good sounding board, because even if you're figuring it out, they might see things that you didn't quite catch the first time. You can figure out what's really going on here with the conversations. It says psychic conversations, but I feel like it's kind of like a mystery card. Like there's things to be figured out here. By stepping back, letting somebody else lead and supporting it, it does kind of bring down the defenses for somebody, maybe a couple people. And then if you're watching closely and you have some people around you who are also watching, as a group effort, you can figure out what's really going on here. Because it seems like that's important. Even though everybody feels like they're doing the right thing, everybody does feel like they have good intentions. It does feel like that to me. There's something else going on here that is not being addressed. And I feel like when I see this 3 of Cups here with the 8 of Cups, I feel like somebody is like trying to heal something, because they got the health card here too. You got another healing card. Somebody else is trying to bring some more, is trying to lighten up the energy. Somebody's trying to lighten up the energy and create healing. That's one of the things about this. So I feel like it's almost like somebody is going through something, or somebody's maybe sick. Somebody's going through, getting out of an abusive relationship or something. And it's like, it's not common knowledge, and maybe they don't want everybody to know. There's another level going on here. I feel like you'll figure out enough of it, kind of like, oh, okay, something's going on with that person, it's personal. They need to lighten up the energy. Okay, that's fine. I don't need to know the details. I know something wasn't quite right. Now that I know that. I just got this idea that there's going to be an unexpected visitor. I almost thought I heard somebody knocking on the door. I don't think I did, though. So, that was weird. A lot of healing can come out of this situation. And I feel like there's other dimensions of the situation. You don't need to know the details, but I do feel like it's important that you know that, okay, this person over here, for example, needs some help. This person over here needs the energy to lighten up a bit because they're going through something. I don't need to know the details of what they're going through, but now that I know that, like, there's an effort going on to help this person. There's an effort going on to raise that energy, to make it more of a healing situation, more of a smooth, more calm energy. I can get behind that. I don't need to know the details. I just need to know, like, a roundabout idea of, like, why we're doing things, because we're doing this for somebody else's benefit. Okay, I'm here for it. We can do that. I don't need to know the details. Because there's a lot of this energy of people coming together and trying to make this work better. It's like, I didn't physically hear it with my ears, but, like, when I heard somebody knocking at the door, it was almost like I could, when somebody hits something and you can feel that vibration in your chest. That's kind of like, I saw it in my head, and then I felt the vibration, like, in my chest of somebody knocking on the door really hard, and I was just like, I'm wondering if that's coming in here, like, somebody's coming in, somebody's arriving, maybe there's a new arrival coming in, maybe that's part of this healing for you. So there might be a new arrival coming in at the end of this that is very impactful for you, especially the way that came in. That's very interesting. Somebody adding to the group that I wasn't thinking we needed to add people to the group, but maybe we do. That might be coming in. If that's happening, I feel like it'll make more sense when it happens and what role they're taking. But we have to get there first before that's even going to make sense. Are we good? All right. I'm going to shut this down here. Hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below. Same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.